Good morning, everybody. You ready to begin? I am. I'm Bill Kanda, Custer County Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. It's Wednesday, the 30th of July, 2025. Silence your phones, I just did. And I'll call this meeting to order now, and it's 9:01. Please stand for the pledge.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your heads.
Yeah.
Dear Heavenly Father, we are gathered here once again today to conduct the official business of our wonderful county. We ask that you watch over us and help us make the managerial decisions that need to be made this day and for the benefit of our county citizens. We ask you for your guidance, your blessing, and not only for today, but for every day forthcoming. We do this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, can you guys hear us with the mics on? Us? Mic check. All right, roll call, Kelly.
Commissioner Canada.
Here.
Commissioner Epp.
Present.
Commissioner Vogelsong.
Present.
County Attorney Dan Slater.
Here.
BOCC Admin Caitlin Womack. Here. And Clerk to the Board Kelly Camper present.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. Audience introduction. Let's start in the back on our left, back here.
John Mapes, Custer County IT.
Robert Smith, Custer County Human Resources Risk Management.
Vince Road and Bridge.
Over there on the right.
Trenton Baker.
Did you catch that, Kelly?
I did not.
Say it again.
It's
Trenton Baker.
Trenton Baker.
Trenton.
Summer home.
Good.
Brian Clint's West Cliff.
Barry Keene, rural Custer County.
Troy Baumgartner, Silverhead.
Thank you.
James Gilbert.
And is anybody online?
We have 5 online: Custer County Landfill, Deb Adams, Elliot Jackson, Rob Klein, and Stacy Terrell.
Okay, good. All right, with that, have we any amendments to the agenda?
Not that I can think of.
Got
I
any?
have no change.
None here either, so we'll proceed. Approval of the minutes, there are none that I know of.
No, they'll be next time.
Okay, thanks. And Commissioner Adams, Lucas, you got any?
So probably the biggest thing is last Friday, all the counties got together and put together proposed issues to CCI to legislate. So we went through a list of roughly 50 of them. A lot of them, there was a lot of discussion around permitting counties to publish legal notices and non-periodicals, because a lot of the rural counties do not have either a periodical or very limited volume that goes out from those periodicals. So there is an allowance, but they want this more just as a statute that they can do other things. So there was a lot of conversation around that. There's a lot of conversation around criminal penalties for the sexual exploitation of children. That was probably a 30-minute conversation. Human trafficking was a huge point. Some state funding availability for emergency management. If emergency management is going to be required, is the state going to chip in for it? So there was some discussion around a bill for that. And then one of the other big ones was the WUI codes, or the Wildland Urban Interface Fire Resiliency Codes, and the cost of that and the cost to their fire departments in their areas. So just had the general conversation from counties was, the state wants us to do this, we've got the responsibility for it, but commissioners have very little authority to do things. We're always required to do things, but
With no money.
with no money or with no leeway as to what fits our county specifically, so.
Mm.
And their mandates.
And, oh, the other big thing, and I sent, Brian an email, but the methane, Brian Lockhart with
Yeah.
landfill, ours is still under the size, but they want to capture methane gas from all the landfills that are under us, over a certain cubic yard that they take in. So from talking to Brian in the past, we're still under that, but we want to remain under that because every rural county, or every county that isn't currently doing it, is looking at a $1 to $3 million upfront
I'm gonna
cost.
ask how you do that, it's gonna cost a bunch to do.
Yeah, it's gonna cost a bunch, so
I can't imagine.
it'll be kind of interesting to see how, so they're want to put a bill in opposition to that, so. That's kind of what, and then I had
What were they gonna do with the methane? Sell it?
I don't know, capturing it, I don't know what they're gonna do after.
They-
Put it on fire?
They started doing that in the oil field
No, because they don't,
10 years
they
ago.
don't
They
want,
won't let them do
They
it.
used to burn it, now
Yeah.
they capture it.
they don't want to flare it off, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Okay,
And then I had a workshop with Vernon Roth and Public Health to kind of go through grants, where we're at with that, and that they're on a different fiscal year than us, and how to get that a little more clear and easier to follow from their standpoint and our standpoint, so.
and we're looking still at figuring out how to get grants, special or support across all
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
directorates.
yeah.
Okay. Paul?
really catch-up week for me, and it pretty much had a meeting with zoning and planning. They are up to par on everything to date, and just trying to take care of a few other little glitches in the system. We had a squatter we're taking care of, and that should be finalized today. And so if you see something that's out of the ordinary, please tell somebody. Especially if near your properties, or you happen to see a travel trailer or a fifth wheel go up and they look like they're staying for a while. Don't be afraid to ask one of us that we know that the area a little better and everything, to see if that person is there legally and they're not starting to just come in and squat. So
There are quite a few of them.
just find out. It's our home up here, and but we've only had a few of them, but they may start migrating, so please be aware. That's pretty much all I have to add.
The only thing I would add that you have is planning and zoning is updating our resolutions.
Correct.
And that'll interest the public because we're refining the language that we've gotten input on that needs to be changed in it and updated, as well as.
It's mainly just making sure that it covers the new areas instead of the areas that were 10 years ago.
So that'll be upcoming. We don't know when they're going to schedule. They're getting ready, from what I understand.
And I am having a meeting with our game warden about the toxic algae out there, and if it has stabilized or increased or decreased and everything, that should be probably next week, I believe Wednesday, so we haven't forgotten about it, and I've kind of taken that one on with water treatment background, so. Anyway.
Okay, the only thing I'll add to those is that we did have an evacuation session, training session yesterday. That I thought was good. Was it yesterday? Seems like
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes, yes.
It was presented by OEM. They hosted a meeting with one of the contractors in the country that has been working in the big wildfires out in California, familiar with a lot of things like that. And it was very useful because we've got 4 or 5 spots here that we have, they're topographically different, and so the evacuations are different and the fires behave differently. And so we need the sheriff especially, who's working that traffic control for any of those fires, has to understand the roads that are there, the people that are there, how they're gonna implement the cars, where they're gonna guide people away from the fire, not into another fire. So I thought that was good. It's a little bit of money to get a study done, and we'll probably put that out for bid between several companies to come in see what they could propose within the 50K range, roughly, what they're thinking, to come up with the initial start of that, that we would work with to develop. We've been lucky so far. We've had some big ones, the Hayden fire, we've had the Levita Pass fire down below, we've had on top of the range over here on the Wet Mountains. A lot of things get done. We had, in that case, you get people and animals that you got to evacuate. So that's a good thing for everybody to be aware of, and it'll be published so everybody knows if their address, here's some options that might come up.
If I may add to that, this program, what it does is you implement where the fire is, and then you put in some factors like the direction of the wind, the speed of the wind, and the type of dwellings we have in that area. And it comes into cars, heavy vehicles and that, and it'll actually compute what the evacuation time is. And then you put in how many cars per hour or minute, it will actually tell you what that is.
How long it takes you to evacuate an area based on the load?
And your escape routes, and that's another thing that was gonna be looked at also, is how the road capabilities are for that evacuation from any given area.
Okay. All right, I don't have any other things to add to that right now. How about you, Dan?
I don't know.
Okay, Caitlin. Okay, that gets us to unfinished business. You all have, if you haven't picked it up, there's an agenda sitting on the front chair here, in front of the front row if you need it. So the first item up to consider, and we will allow comment on these after each one, or during the discussion part, I should say. So resolution 25-32, which is House Bill 25-1247, that's the lodging tax increase ballot initiative wording that we were discussing in our last meeting. We said, let's get it clarified, and so let's clarify it. Who's got it?
How much of this do you want us to read, Dan?
Well, technically, I think all you really need to read is the title. How much more we read, I don't know that it does a whole lot of good to read the whole thing.
We're gonna put it out for people to understand when we get it to publish it.
Yeah, it'll be published, exactly. Actually, what I can do is, read it, well, let's have a motion, second, and then I'll read the title, and then I'll summarize the rest of it.
Okay, well, I move that what do we wanna do? We accept the wording, and it's this,
Adopt resolution.
we're gonna adopt it instead, it's not to adopt with the initiative wording, like it says here. So I move that we adopt resolution 2532, which is a resolution submitted to the eligible electors of Custer County at the coordinated election November the 4th, 2025, and it's a ballot issue authorizing a 4% increase to the existing lodging tax. In my parameters, it's at 2 right now, to be used to support housing and childcare for the Custer County workforce and facilitating and enhancing the visitor experience in Custer County. That means continue doing the lodging tax for tourism and providing for other matters related to the ballot issue. That's my motion for now. Second.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 2532. We can discuss that now.
So what this does is this increases the lodging tax to 6%, from the 2%, as Commissioner Kanda noted. 1/3 of that 6%, in other words, the original 2% remains pledged to advertising and marketing local tourism. 1/3, which is another 2%, would be denominated for childcare for the Custer County workforce, and the remaining 1/3, the remaining 2%, is dedicated to housing for the Custer County workforce. And the rest of although it's a fairly long resolution, the rest of the resolution simply sets the ballot title, sets the language of the ballot issue, and essentially directs the county clerk and recorder to conduct the election and provide notice and so on and so forth.
Okay, I'll start the discussion with a comment here. people would wonder, it's a lodging tax for tourism. The state passed a law, says they broadened it out. You can use more of that tax for other things. And they specifically named those things to include the two things that were added here, which was childcare and what was the other one?
Housing.
Housing. It can also be used for infrastructure like roads. It could be used for other, a couple other items, I think, that were in that initial law. And when we debated it last week, we decided it was good for us, for the housing and for the child care. So that's that comment. My other comment would be, we were discussing the 2% was used for tourism, was good. We saw an increase in that. We saw it helped the market. We got a lot more money in, and I think it ended up at a 60K, 80K range. This would in effect would double that, or it is triple that. The amount of money coming in would be like 300K roughly. Just this isn't a comment on whether that's good or bad. If we had an issue with that dampen people coming here and getting housed or getting lodging, I don't know, and that's why we need to talk about it a little bit. So that's my kickoff. Lucas, you got it?
Yeah, so I think that is, you know, some comments that people have made is it gonna squelch tourism? Well, there's a lot of people that don't like tourists here, so I guess vote for a tax on what you don't want. So you know, it's a weird issue. It's going to put more work on tourism. We really are going to have to market for tourists to come here, especially and stay in our lodging that we have here, that private citizens have put together in the form of STRs or motels or any other type of lodging that they may have that pay this. But because that's going to now support some childcare and some workforce housing.
That's a good point you bring up, because if you get used to having that money for childcare and the tourists go away, that doesn't help us.
Depends on the planning, yeah.
I mean,
How they
if you
use it.
get comfortable with the money.
Right. The only thing I'd like to add to that is that this tax is not by the citizens of our county. The tax is actually on the person that is utilizing lodging.
Which could be a citizen relative.
And they've done the historical data on that of where they come from to come to our county. And for the most part, it's the Front Range and close by states like Texas and Oklahoma and all those. So that's the body of our tourism. And the discussion we had a week or two ago said that the people that come up here don't travel to Colorado to come here. They want getaways. And so this puts us in line with, what, about 50% of the state? Is it 6%? I'm talking area now, where we're at, it's like
6%.
I had that, I didn't bring it.
The highest is 15%, which is in.
Right, there are some that are 15, and some states is up to 20, so. Anyway, just a reminder that it is not a tax on the citizens of our county, it is the visitors staying in the lodging, so. Anyway, that's all I have.
Okay, any other discussion out here? I'll open it up. Go ahead, Brian. State your name, Brian.
Brian Clintz. I own Antler Liquor and Motel. And I remember when Cindy Howard was peddling this lodging tax around our town. I don't remember. I remember a couple faces in the crowd, but the rest I don't. And the major argument that I had at that time was it was opening Pandora's box. You start with a little tax, and you add on, and you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going. And the county commissioners at that time told me, no, Brian, this is going to be, we're going to hold it 2%. This is going to be for advertising. This is going to be taxing tourists, yada, yada. This is the reason why, you know, people don't stay in Vail anymore or Aspen, they stay in Basalt. You know, so what we're doing is we're just adding to the whole nanny state situation to where we're just going to keep taxing adding taxes and adding taxes and adding taxes for this. So is this childcare and what else is it?
And then housing.
Yeah, and so.
Affordable, what do we call it?
And does the state not already have programs for childcare? Go ahead and answer you.
Go ahead. No, that's a timer on you.
Okay.
No.
That was on,
Oh, that was on me.
that was on you.
Because I'll sit
Sorry about
down
that.
here, I will, I got a lot to say about taxes.
No, that was his.
Right, but I mean, this is the major problem that I have with this, the state already has programs for childcare. They already have programs for housing. And so all we're doing is just adding taxes and adding taxes and adding taxes. And I feel that it's unnecessary. The state already has programs for this. We're adding taxes on top of taxes on top of taxes. And just taxing and taxing and taxing, and then where does the taxing end? It's not. You started out with 2%, now we're going 3 times above that. Just have problems with that.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I got to say about that.
Go ahead, any other questions?
Yeah, Barry Keene, Custer County Workforce Housing Committee. And I know Stacy Terrell's on there and has plenty to say, but I believe she wanted me to go first. So, yeah, there you go. So here's the thing I want to bring up and why we're so concerned and need outside revenue. There's 3 things we got to do here, and we got to do them quick. One is to reinvigorate and replenish the prime workforce age, which is from 20 to 64. We're aging out here, and I'll show you that in a second. The next is that younger workforces touch every aspect of our economic health here in the Valley and anywhere. Affordable childcare and affordable housing are essential to young families that we need to draw and to retain here. And we need to also recognize the large proportion of low-income workers we have in the Valley. The first part of this here, and we're not going to go through line by line, but the first part of this, the declining in the workforce, and I shared some data with y'all so you know where this came from. I didn't make this up. 2013, 55% of our workforce was in the 20 to 64 age range. In 2023, that dropped to 46%. Projected by 2033, 8 years from now, it's going to be 40% of the workforce. Right now, we expect to see about 160 new jobs coming in the next 8 years to the Valley. If you calculate these numbers out, it turns out we only have 120 new people coming into that prime workforce age range. That's because we're not filling in from the bottom. We aren't producing a community that allows for the lower income and affordable housing. And affordable housing today in Custer County is a myth, really. So if you want to go down a little bit further, there you go. So 60% of the covered workers, and when I say covered workers, people that are W-2 workers, are under the average of $43,735. 50%, more than 50% of the four largest categories, restaurant and accommodations, retail, public administration, and I forget the fourth one. Those 4 categories represent more than 50% of our workforce. Those 4 categories average out at $33,000 a year. That's half of the area mean income. So this is a problem. We need to do something about our wages, but we also have to come down to meet those wages where we are today. We can't fix that overnight. Also, we have a growing number of single-parent households. It's the largest constituency that's growing in our community. The two constituents, they call them, the groups, the cohorts are a single person living alone and a single person with children. Those are the 2 fastest growing parts of our population here, and they also represent quite a bit of that top 4 categories of employment. So if you come on down a little bit more, Caitlin, you'll see that 100% area mean income for Custer County is $66,000 a year. At this point, so 80% of that would be $52,000 a year. Almost 80% of our renters in Custer County are at or below 80% AMI. If you go on down, 47%, almost half of the renters in Custer County are below 50% AMI, or that $33,000 a year number. That maxes out, and their maximum affordable rent's $825 a month if 30% of their income is applied to rent. There's zero income, there's zero housing available, rental housing available right now below $908 a month. And frankly, there's almost none in the open market available. So we've got to bring the income up to meet what's available. We also have to build affordable housing here, particularly in the rental community. And if you want to drop on down to the last piece here, so what would we do with 2% in just on housing? Here's a list of the stuff that we find in other communities. Many communities are using lodging tax to support childcare and housing for their employee workforce. That particular communities that have a fair amount of tourism involved, which drive lower income, lower wage jobs. Also jobs that don't work 40 hours a week. That's problematic. So other jurisdictions, the things they do are they facilitate moving projects. If you have a housing authority or a housing trust in a community, they can facilitate moving projects more quickly and more efficiently to where you have occupancy. We're right now close to 2 years away from the closest occupancy of the next area that is going to have substantial, and that's only 18 doors of rental housing, that's attractive housing. We support local governments. They support local governments through grant writing. That's a problem all the time, to get grants written, and data analysis and legislation that's upcoming. We keep an eye on that kind of thing. We do this in this committee I work with. Maintaining matching fund reserve. We just had this come up recently where we need matching funds. If you want to go on down a little bit, Caitlin, you'll find some of the other stuff that you can do.
Okay, Barry,
Yeah.
you're at 6 minutes. Are you sharing with Stacy or?
No,
I don't want to.
I think I made the point here. What I'm concerned with is helping to support young families to come and stay here to make this affordable for them. Now, Stacy is going to give you even more dramatic information.
Great, we're going to give everybody a chance. We're looking at 5 minutes. We're trying to keep it at that. Stacy, go ahead.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, great. So Caitlin hopefully gave you a packet. Basically, I'm just going to run very quickly and highlight some of this. But on that first page, where there's the map of Colorado, Custer County has had the second highest percentage change increase in children and child population between 2019 and 2023 in the entire state. Second biggest increase in the state at 20%. Custer County approximately has 814 children between the ages of 0 to 17, but that does not count the groups in our community that don't necessarily report their data, the Amish, the Mennonites, German Baptists, et cetera. So that number is much higher. If you go to the next page, Colorado's median family income among households with children is $118,733. Custer County's median income among those households is $77,000, but as Barry mentioned, that number is inflated and it's closer to $66,000. The household survival budget for a family of 4 is $93,048. Custer County's household survival budget is $88,000. Basically, what does that mean? Household survival budget is defined as the minimum income necessary to meet basic needs based on household and size. As you can see in Custer County, the survival budget is way more than the actual median income. And the two most expensive items that families spend their budgets on are childcare and rent and utilities. If you skip to the next page, Custer County has 22.3% of children living in poverty, almost double the state average. We have 4.5 out of 10 children living in poverty in Custer County. And on the next page, you'll see the extreme poverty, meaning 24.1% of children in Custer County live in households that with incomes below 200% of the federal poverty line or earning less than $600,000 for a family of four. As Barry mentioned on the next page, housing, stable, safe housing is critical for children's short and long-term physical and mental well-being. Children without stable housing are more likely to have poor overall health, adverse childhood experiences, and struggle to meet academic standards. In Colorado, the share of children experiencing housing instability is increasing, and it is increasing in Custer County. On the next page, as far as evictions, the increasing number of children experiencing homelessness is in part due to challenges in affordable housing. And Barry shared some numbers on that. I'm going to kind of skip for the essence of time the prenatal care and low birth weight, but Custer County has a high percentage of babies born to women without prenatal care, as well as a high percentage of babies born with low birth weight, which leads to other complications down the road. And then as far as childcare, if anything was highlighted by the pandemic, that childcare is a necessary infrastructure for our community to survive. In 2023, Colorado parents reported quitting a job, not taking a job, or greatly changing their job because of problems with childcare. In Custer County, licensed childcare, we are considered a childcare desert. We have 272 children between the ages of birth to 5, and we only have 38 licensed childcare slots. And there is zero childcare available on Fridays. So I know Mr. Klintz mentioned that the state provides funding for childcare. That is not exactly true. They do provide a CCAP, childcare assistance program, but as we speak, that is frozen in the state. So funding for childcare is not something that is consistent at the state, but it does become a local problem. So expanding childcare in Custer County, especially on Fridays and over the summer, is very vital as we are considered to be a childcare desert. So what would 2% lodging tax do for childcare and early child supports? As Barry mentioned, lots of other communities are doing this. Some of those funds are used to purchase a building, give out provider grants, incentivize expanding infant toddler care. But specifically here in Custer County, right now, I know the school has a childcare center that is closed on Fridays and closed during the summer. Some of this funding could be utilized to open that capacity up so that parents have access to childcare on Fridays, as well as over the summer. I know there was a conversation thrown out about the Custer County employees going back to a 5-day work week. This funding could help if that was something pursued, allow for licensed childcare on Fridays, which is non-existent right now in Custer County. One of the other big initiatives with possibly of these 2% lodging tax, we work very closely with the Affordable Workforce Housing Group. And one of the examples that has already been done in some of other mountain towns, for example, like Uray, is some of these affordable workforce housing developments. One of those lots and one of those homes has kind of been promised or deemed to open up a family childcare home, which would provide a business opportunity for that family here in Custer County, as well as allow anywhere from 6 to 12 more childcare slots. So those are just different examples of what this funding can be used. I am the director of Custer County Kids Council, was the early childhood council for Custer County. I'm used to working with budgets that go up and down. So I think Bill made a fair point about, if the tax goes up or if the tax goes down, we have the experience of working within our budget to still utilize the most of those dollars. As well as I see the importance of us continuing to work with tourism and partner with them, because that is how this tax comes in. And for example, I know that some of our families that own some of this lodging have shared that some of the tourists coming to visit Custer County are coming here for extended stays to look and see about the possibility of moving here and what supports are available and affordable for their families. So I will end it at that. And if there's any questions I can answer, just let me know.
Okay, thank you, Stacy. I just have one to clarify, and then we gotta give everybody else a chance. You mentioned 270 kids under the age of 5 to 0, something like that. Is that what?
Yes, yes.
All kids, or is that just kids that, what about ones with families? Is that all of them? Not all of those, or all of those are ones that are in childcare today or that need it?
No, those
There
are.
gotta be families that are taking care of their kids.
Oh, absolutely. That, I mean, that's the biggest part of care, just not in Custer County, but in the state, is family, friend, and neighbor care. However, that's still not enough. People are, but to answer your question, the 272 is kids from birth to 5 that we know of, but that doesn't include the other groups I talked about. Not those
Oh,
200.
hold on, I get it. So you're saying 270 are total in this county right now, not all of them need childcare, is that what
No.
you said? Or that they are the ones that definitely need it?
272 isn't the total.
Okay, that's what it sounds like.
It could be 300.
Right.
And
Okay, got it. Okay, oh, I see the total, all right, I got it. Okay, thank you, clarifying it. Any other questions or any other points to make by other people? Jim?
Yeah, I had a little bit of a question with respect to the wording of the document, because I'm confused as to the intent of the population that would be entitled to the funds. I heard county workforce, I heard workforce, and the legislation says tourism-related workforce or other. And my concern would be if the initiative's language isn't clear, we may put ourselves into a bizarre cubbyhole. Because I think the intention of what you're doing is to generate funds that would apply to the workforce as a whole in the county, not any selected group. Is that correct?
The ballot issue specifies that it's the tourism-related workforce, and the codification as to what the tax is to be used for indicates that it's for the tourism-related workforce, including seasonal workers and other workers in the community. Quite frankly, particularly with childcare, anything that is used for the tourism-related workforce is likely going to have a benefit for the remainder of the workforce within the county. I'm sure the same can be said for housing, but the ballot issue does specifically state tourism-related workforce in compliance with the statute.
So that is a good point, because then we have to figure out how you meter that out, how you determine whose work is tourism, like county or people grading road.
That will be part of the board's decisions when they go to budget how this money would be used specifically.
Yeah, I mean, that's my point. If we say tourism-related workforce only and just leave it at that in the initiative, then you have to do that every time, as opposed to a
That's true.
child care project.
But we have to do that
That's
every time.
associated, that is funds available to anyone in the workforce that requires assistance.
My contention would be that if, for instance, when it comes to childcare, if we were to provide some sort of subsidy for a childcare program to expand their availability to include summers and or weekends, in particular Fridays, that is for the tourism-related workforce because of how prevalent the tourism-related workforce is within this county. But it doesn't have to be only for, we wouldn't have to mandate that program only accept children in the tourism-related workforce.
because I think an example would be, we are a destination wedding place. We have a lot of wedding venues here. They need to get their marriage licenses on Friday. And so to support that, we allow some money to go to the child care for county workers who have to work on a Friday to support giving. I've seen where other counties have taken a very open, liberal stance to tourism related. It doesn't just have to do with restaurant workers or a person that has a little
Trinkets.
shop that sells stuff. It's a pretty broad term, because it can also be, if we wanted to have put it in language, we could have used 0.5% to go to road and bridge per se. So I think it's fairly broad.
And that's where we would have our budget meeting discussion to divide it out.
To figure out the.
Yeah, and I think it's not
In the normal day at work.
being too specific would be good for us in the future, is not to take this and we're just gonna be specific towards those who work for Brian Clint's or lodging, the lodging organizations or the restaurants. It's open to as many as we possibly can.
So if I hear you correctly, then childcare funding from this could be applied to a single mom who got a job driving a road grader, and would be able to then work outside the home because now her children have childcare.
Very possibly, right? We need to maintain our roads more so now because of the tourists that we have than we did 10 years ago.
That's why they allowed it for road work or
Okay,
infrastructure.
so then what about the single mom that got a job working as a secretary?
No, I don't wanna get into.
Yeah, we don't need
what
to-
can- the specifics of what we can and can't use this for, because we're not at that point. And so I don't wanna get into, well, what about this scenario or this scenario, until that's something the board is specifically considering.
But that's
Your
my.
original question, though, was whether this ballot issue complies with the statute in terms of the language related to tourism-related workforces, and the answer is that it does.
No,
What
I beg
what the
to differ.
board
That wasn't
can
my
and can't
question.
do with it is a different question, and it's not a question that we have to answer today.
Right, we're gonna hit that.
But if the initiative language is narrow enough, then they can't, then there are situations that they can't address. My question was, is it general enough that it would cover everybody in the county?
It tracks the language of the statute, and so if there was something that the statute didn't allow, this wouldn't allow it either. But if there was something that the statute didn't allow, we couldn't allow it in this ballot issue
Off of this.
anyway.
Right.
Then I'm,
Okay, that's a
I'm
weekend today.
mishearing the language then, so it sounds like you wrote exactly the language from the law.
It tracks the language from the statute, yes.
So you included or other.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that. I heard it and at tourism related.
Thanks for the comment.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We won't debate anymore. Barry, you got one more shot at it, but we got other people shot.
I get it, and I'll be quick. The housing part of this, that's income qualified housing, that's under the jurisdiction of a housing authority. And that requires that you're working in the county, and when we go through that lease agreement lays this out very clearly, and this is what other counties do with this kind of housing. So this is very clear in terms of who is benefiting, and it really relates to the housing structure, not to the individual specifically, other than by lease, which is controlled by income qualified, which is controlled by DOLA.
Real quick. So who
State your name.
Brian Clint's, West Clint, Antler Liquor Motel. So who administers these funds? Is Kelly gonna have to hire on a couple hands? Is Laura gonna have to hire on another hand to distribute these monies, to track, verify who's taking the money and who's
Okay.
not?
Good question, and Lucas can tell you that in a meeting only do that. We have budget meetings that would allocate that each year.
And who writes the check? I mean, I come in there and I say, well, my girlfriend's a single mom, she's now running a road grader, bless her hearts, help everybody. And, now she needs money for her kid and.
No, it doesn't work that
she
way.
needs money for housing, I mean, who who
Different
reads the
process.
application?
Okay, got it. Let him answer the question.
Yes, sir.
So that's a program that we're gonna have to put together for next year to administrate that. So we're working with the Workforce Housing Committee to put together a trust to take care of that housing, and we would like that to be a nonprofit. So they only take what they need to run that, keep it as minimal as possible, not government run. The only thing that the commissioners will be doing is, here's what we got, we're gonna split it in thirds, and tourism gets their portion, workforce housing gets their portion, and Custer County Kids Council, I've got the same discussion with them. We'll have to work out the program. We've talked anywhere from a voucher program based upon needs through maybe DHS, but these are in the work of how these monies are doled out to the individuals that are applying.
But even nonprofits have operational expenses.
Absolutely they do,
Okay.
but less
There's
than
gonna be,
taxpayers,
all right, cool.
the property tax.
Okay, that's it. I've got another one. Go ahead,
Bob
Bob. Say it again loudly.
Bob Fulton, and I think the first part of the 2% should come about is to get the place built, get the bricks and mortar to have daycare. I know in Westcliff, in our plan for the long-term plan for the workforce housing facilities will include an area for, right there within the complex for daycare and all that for, not only that community, but for the whole community. Okay. So you gotta have some place to put everybody.
Okay, good comment. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Debbie.
One online, Debbie Adams, go ahead.
Good morning, gentlemen. I just want to verify, since this is the lodging tax, that tax is still going to come in to tourism. We get a receipt from the treasurer every month, and then somehow accounting takes out the 2% for workforce housing, the 2% for childcare, and the 2% for tourism stays in our fund. I just want to verify.
That's correct.
I want to verify that there won't be any confusion about that 2% and that I will be able to monitor the funds, that everything is clear, that tourism's 2% is not impacted.
And that's absolutely right, and Lucas could tell you in space, we have to pass the audits, and we have to go account for every dollar in and out.
Okay, and then I also want to just comment, when we had the meeting last week, Bianca and I were having a conversation, we both serve on the board, and someone came out and their opinion was that an increase of 4% is not going to impact people continuing to come to Westcliff. Westcliff, the Wet Mountain Valley, is getting a lot of very good national, international press about our dark skies, our clean air, the great hiking. So I feel that we will continue to have a strong tourism flow and income from visitors because we are very unique. So I don't feel that an increase of 4% is going to deter people from coming to visit the Wet Mountain Valley.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Good job, thanks. Who else was that? Paul, you got a comment?
I have one comment. I just did a little bit of math here just for the people here at the meeting and online can understand. With a 6% increase, a lodging tax, if it was $100, it's $1 per 100. So if our lodging is right around that $200 a night, it's $12. Again, a lot of people are coming here, not traveling thousands of miles to get here. That's the end result. And, it depends on where we want to put our emphasis on our citizens that will have the opportunity to have things that are needed up here just to operate our town. And that's kind of what we're looking at. Because people don't have places to put their children while they're working at a low-income job. So think about that while we're looking at all the facts of this, and we'll see what we need to do in the future. I mean, it's something that we do.
Well, and in retrospect, every tax dollar you put in your pocket should be going in a business owner's pocket that pays their employees their pockets.
Well, in effect, you get that when people come, that's right, when you come, you
Just
get.
saying, every dollar you take is a dollar that should be going in a business owner's pocket.
I don't quite understand, but
It also affects your employees. And that's what this is for, is those
Right, I take that dollar out of
employees.
my pocket, I split it in half, and that goes into their pocket. You know, it's trickle down economics.
Brian, how much of your business do you think is from tourism?
From tourism,
Yeah.
well, I make, you know, probably 60% of my yearly wages during the month of July. And so that carries me through the winter.
Yeah.
You know, running a business up here, which you know is a break-even scenario. You live in the summer like you live in the winter. And every time I turn around, there's another tax initiative. There's more taxes here, there's more taxes there. It's gotta stop somewhere. It's gotta stop. I mean, look at the whole state in general is ridiculous as far as taxes go. It's getting harder and harder to live here. And the more tax initiatives we have, the harder it's getting. You would think it would be making it easier to live here in Colorado, but it's not. It's counterintuitive.
Okay, good points.
Thank you.
And I happen to agree 100% with you. The state keeps coming up with other ways to tax it. It's always a fee and a fee and a fee. I understand that. And the problem is we're caught here with something that we're taxing somebody else's money right now. That's the majority of it's from tourism coming in, but it's still tax on them for money. You're right.
Yeah, we're passing the buck.
But if we don't, then it's going to go on around us. And it seems like what happens is, you're right, that happens all around the whole state. It causes inflation basically, because everybody raises their rate to keep up with it. And that's the way it is. It's unfortunate. But we can always take a look and decide to rescind it too. And if it doesn't work, and analyze what the impact was or is on housing or the child care or the tourism.
I mean, I think with the child care situation, if you look at our school population.
Anyway, yes, all right. Any other comments? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the vote on this and we'll proceed. All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye. Lucas?
Aye.
Votes aye.
Kanda, aye, and I'll make that same comment I did. It's something that we can look at and we must keep in track. So, thank you everybody. Okay, moving on, the next one, Intervention Incorporated Community Connections Center Memorandum of Understanding. That's some title. Who's got that one?
Robert does.
Yeah. It's useful public service.
Yeah, that's a better way to say it. AKA useful public service.
So before, to back up a little bit, put everything in context, we've had some discussions where the county has for some time had a part-time employee that was a part-time employee for the courts. That person has left employment with the courts and us. What she did for us was managing our useful public service program, or UPS, where defendants who were court ordered to complete useful public service work as part of their sentencing by the district court. So the county had the option of replacing that part-time employee, and of course replacing that as expenses. We paid their wage as well any benefits. Those wages were paid out. Any monies from the useful public service fees were taken into the county, into the general fund. However, looking at all of it, we were taking in less fees than we were paying out in wages and benefits. As I talked with Christina as she left, became aware that all the other counties in the 11th Judicial District outsourced those services to a company called Intervention, which is a community corrections company. Reached out to them, had some discussions. They are willing and able to take over those services at no cost to the county. So all those sentences would be handled by them. Doesn't cost us anything. It's a transfer over. They've agreed to do that. I've had conversations with them.
Who are they doing it for? Other counties.
All the other counties in the 11th Judicial District.
Fremont, Chafin Park are the other three.
Those useful UPS services throughout the state are majority of them are done through other means other than a county employee.
Okay.
Some of them are done by a sheriff's office, the majority of them are done by some kind of service like this. So, but before you is the memorandum of understanding for them to take over those services. The fees paid or charged by the defendants is set by intervention. Any fees, so there is no charge to us.
They collect the fees.
They collect the fees from the defendants, use them as they see fit to manage their program. The cooperation, the connection of back and flow information is, they already have that established in their working with the district courts. So all they're doing is adding us to the program that they are already doing for other counties.
I'll make a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between Custer County and Intervention, Inc. Community Connection Center.
I'll second that motion, Wilson.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the MOU as read, as stated. Any other discussion here?
None from
Any
me.
questions out in public, online? Okay, hearing none, call for that vote. Paul?
Paul, aye.
Lucas?
Aye.
Kanda, aye. Thank you. Good job.
Thanks, Paul.
So that will take
That
effect
saves us $7,000.
approximately, yes. And so that will take effect August 1. So, and they're up and running until.
And all of Christina's emails have been going out this last, I don't know, week or so, saying contact this instead of contacting her, so.
Okay, good. Okay, thanks. Okay, moving on. Purchase of a chip sealer. Bet I hear nobody arguing about not doing that. I hope.
True.
Come on, Vince.
Vince.
Thank you.
Mr. Vince. Welcome.
Okay, I got the quote from the company in Idaho, narrowed down, Dan did.
Okay.
This is the quote.
$2,000,010.
That's as close as the company in Idaho can get.
Okay, so we have a quote here, just so everybody knows. The quote is for $52,877.50. And they don't, and from what you said, they are the experts.
Yes, they're highly recommended.
And that's to do what now?
To put a new computer system on the chip spreader that you guys might purchase for us. It'll be up to date and fixed.
And able to be maintained.
Yes.
With plug-in whatever or something.
Yep, what I want to do, if you guys accept this, is either Dan or I, or probably Dan will fly out here when the machine's done, so they can show him how to work on it.
Yeah.
Fly out to the company, or I'll probably go with him, and they can show us what they've done to the machine, show us how to repair it here.
And so that'll give us a chip sealer and a backup.
And a backup.
So that way we don't see what happened to, everybody noticed, we couldn't do Schoolfield, we couldn't do the rest of Macy, a lot of things happened.
What the problem is our vendors that we get parts from are just really slow. They just can't get our parts here on time. So this chip sealer being fixed, and we're gonna use this vendor in Idaho from now on for parts.
And we only have, maybe a 5-month window to do roads
Yes.
with chipset.
So we really do need it.
I mean, it's
We
narrow.
need to stay working when we can.
It's also during monsoon season too, so.
Okay. I move we accept the quote and,
The only thing's not added, the trucking cost I got from a local truck driver is Hobby Trucking is $3,900 freight to go out there, if I remember right.
So we gotta add, so it's gonna be to the tune of,
That was-
give me a round number, we're gonna
Or-
authorize.
So let me ask this question. What is our upfront cost this year? And what do we need to budget next year? Is it, they want the full 52?
What they stated, they want progress payments as the job stages are done on the machine.
Okay.
What's their estimated time frame?
Probably, the sooner we get it there, the sooner we get it back. It's
No, but-
about a year, maybe 6 months.
So your answer is it's probably gonna be split
Okay.
between.
So more of it's probably gonna be next year
Next
than
year.
this year.
It's gonna be-
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
a good thing.
okay.
Second thing is do we have a bill of sale for,
Yes, Mr. Canada has it for the chip
Okay.
spread. I gave it to him
So we-
Monday.
probably need to purchase it before we decide to,
Oh, yeah, they take ownership.
before we,
on it. Do we have an estimate on the transportation?
3,900.
So.
That was
I'll
give and take, that was
approve the-
a month ago. It could be up or down.
And just to add to that, the reason why we don't use our truck is that you have to have different permits for different states. And this is, by the time you pay for your permits and everything, we can hire an outside source to just get it done.
Yeah, because our county truck can't go out, because you got different states for fuel taxes, permits, and we don't have all that
Just
stuff.
don't have that
So it's
kind of an
purchase.
interstate type.
Yeah. Maintenance. Right, and that's what it says here, so I will move that we purchase the chip seal. Authorize the contract that we've got.
I'll second that motion, Volson.
Subject to appropriation during the budget process for
Right.
any
As-
expenses next year.
Right.
Yeah, that, Bill.
Yeah, do you wanna put a cost of the chip seal in there?
You could.
I gave you this
I don't have it with me.
15 something, I think it's 15 even.
Oh, that one, it's 15,000 even,
okay.
Did you get?
and that's a contract with, Ed.
Ed Lyons, yes.
Okay,
Okay, any other discussion on the chip sealing before, okay, hearing none, I call for the vote on that, and all in favor of purchasing chip sealing, I'll say aye.
aye.
All,
Volson, aye.
and aye. Now a motion on fixing it.
I make a motion that we ship it off to Jeff's Manufacturing to get it repaired.
And the cost is,
And the cost is $52,877.50 plus the $3,900 for shipping and hopefully.
And that's a 39 to bring it back, so double that.
$7,000, $8,000. So cap it at 60.
And again, subject to appropriation for any expenses that may occur in 2026.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay? Question?
No.
Any other comments? Comments, probably? Bob?
I'd be glad to help, not to take anything from David, but if he'll be able to move that for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Do that, that was my business.
Good to have, okay. All right, all in favor of the motion to,
Who seconded that?
I did.
he did. Okay, all in favor of, the cost of fixing the chip sealer and the shipping charges, say aye. Lucas?
Aye.
Paul?
Volson, aye.
Kanda, aye.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks.
Yep.
Moving on. Chip seal. Two share. Are you gonna take that one? We're on contract to sell.
Okay, this is the contract for the sale of the two sheriff's vehicles to the city of Walsenburg, for that discussion.
Yeah, it's an 18 and a 2018 and 2020 Durango.
And their mayor finally decided they'd buy it.
Correct.
Okay, motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the contract for sale of 2 sheriff's office vehicles to the city of Walsenburg.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, been moved and seconded to sell the 2 sheriff's vehicles to Walsenburg. Discussion there.
And entry into the intergovernmental agreement therefore.
Yes.
Sorry, we got that. I forgot about the intergovernmental agreement. Kelly, you got it?
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion?
They will be they won't be making a payment till January 2nd of 2026. So, just so that's clear.
Information.
Okay, comments? It's a good agreement between us and the state, city of Walsenburg. Okay. Discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor of selling 2 vehicles as stated and entering into that intergovernmental agreement, say aye. Paul?
Aye.
Lucas?
Aye.
Kent, aye. Okay, we've got the sheriff's vehicle donations. We discussed that last time. We got the data on it. Any discussion on what we've got?
There isn't an agreement in place that I've drafted for this because I don't know that I can draft an agreement. As I understand it, the potential donors want to remain anonymous. I can't draft an agreement that gives these anonymous donors the ability to take action in the future once these vehicles are done with, which is what the request is, without having the names of the potential donors in the agreement.
Okay.
So that's why we don't have an agreement in front
So
of us.
we've gotten clarification. Let me pull it up.
It'd be like transfer of title being like who the
So-
ownership was.
Well, what was requested was that these vehicles be made as a donation to the sheriff's office with the caveat that once the sheriff's office is done with it, that the donors would have the option to take title to the vehicles back or to direct that they be sold and the funds go to fund sheriff's office operations.
So since then, we've gotten a letter from the sheriff today after discussing that. He said the donated used vehicles are offered without strings attached. And he lists out the Chevy Trailblazer, the Chevy Impala, the Ford Explorer, 2 of them. These are donated by the sheriff's employees themselves. The Ford Explorer, 2 of those are donated by the sheriff posse members. And donated by the Boulder Sheriff's Office was 5 vehicle police radios. These vehicles are placed in service. After these vehicles are placed in service, all the deputy vehicles will be less than 100,000 miles. So this upgraded the fleet. And each deputy will have their own police car that way to take care of, and the 3 vehicles will be used by the posse. So that clarifies it, I think.
And that doesn't require me to draft
No.
in terms of agreement, so I'm much better with that.
Yeah. Okay. Any other discussion? All right, so I move we accepted, I guess,
The vehicles donated.
this is accepted all the donated items, there's radios and everything. As stated. All in favor,
We don't
say.
have a second yet.
Oh, wait a minute, who seconded it? Who? I'll second it.
You made the motion.
You made the
Ken
motion.
seconded.
Oh, wait a minute. I made the motion.
All right, we're still in
I'm
motion.
looking for help. Paul?
I will say.
Somebody second this sucker. Okay, all in favor of the donations as stated and accepting the vehicles and items, say aye. Lucas? Aye. Paul?
Vote on.
Kanda, aye.
Can you forward that email to me?
Yeah.
Like the-
Yeah,
I'll do that right now.
Right now.
We should all 3, yeah, we should need you on.
And also on that chip sealer stuff, I need a copy.
Yeah, I'll get that to you. We'll have to make a copy, yeah. We'll
I
catch
gave
you
her my
up.
copy on that one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I just need the bill of sale. Copy of the bill of sale.
Okay, moving on, we've got sealed bids And, on the Golden Arrow Valley, lot 11, block 1, lot 13, block 1, lot 1, block 2, lot 1B, block 9.
Correct.
And we had a discussion on that earlier. Dan, did you get a?
I have in front of me one envelope, which appears to be a bid proposal for a parcel number that I'm not gonna read out, received 7/17/25 at 10 a.m. It is sealed. I am unsealing it at this time.
Just for information, these lots are 50 by 100, very small.
They're just north of Golden Angle off of 255
Oak Creek grade.
on the west side.
There's a lot in here, but I'm just going to read the bid proposal portion of this from Diane Hampton in West Cliff, Colorado. I would like to propose a bid of $5,000 for all county-owned property, parcel number 001022970 in Golden Valley, lot 1, block 2, lot 11, block 1, lot 1B, block 9, lot 13, block 1. So the bid is $5,000 for the 4 lots.
Okay.
So I think our advertisement went out as a minimum of $2,000 per lot.
Correct.
So I guess we can,
That was the assessed value, if I remember.
but she's got 4 lots put down there, right?
Yes.
So that does take care of the lot that is in the
The valley there.
valley there.
Draw.
That isn't, I mean, that's
Not
50
usable.
foot wide, it's
It's
not
not-
usable.
it's not
You'd have to build
buildable,
a
it's
bridge,
not-
and build your house on top of the bridge.
Right. It's
And actually, those lots aren't suitable for a house either without
individual.
individually. They have to, that's why she's buying a block of them, to be able to put a septic tank on or a, well,
But they are 50 by 100 feet.
okay, so what do? You wanna, we average, that was a minimum bid we asked for. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking, I know she didn't want that lot. She only wanted the 3, that's what she only originated at, but when I found out we owned 1 more lot, I wanted to get rid of that lot. It does us no good to have a lot.
One lot.
Nothing will be
earn
done
any
with it,
property tax on
and the property tax on that lot would be not a lot of money.
Would be, yeah,
Do
it's 0 right
We
now.
bench it and come back, see if she wants the other lot.
She put all 4
She
Oh,
lots
I
down.
thought they were, oh, I
She
thought
got
an
it. She just-
additional one. Okay.
She's taking it, but she's only giving us the 6,
5.
or the 5. I should
There's
say.
5.
So, I guess we just gotta decide whether we wanna purchase or
I
accept
move we
her.
accept the bid from, what's her name? Stated
Diane Hampton.
Diane Hampton as she bid.
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion? Jim?
So you're giving her $750 off per lot.
Yeah, basically.
What a deal.
And we get $2 in tax back every year.
It's the long-term plan.
Yeah, that's it, hopefully it
It'll be more than that,
increases
it's
it.
not open range.
They are really small.
Yeah. Okay, hearing no other discussion, I call for the vote on sealed bids as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Both sides.
Kanda, aye.
Let's take a quick break.
Break time. I like that idea.
That's a good
We'll
idea.
be back in 5.
kick it off.
Okay, it's Bill Kanda, we're back from break, it's 10:24 now, and we are into new business. And the first one up is accounts payable. Lucas.
All right, so I'll go through the amounts in the AP that were over $5,000. CenturyLink, $5,144.63. The Chet Haga Trust, it's for the land payment of $54,639.24. To United Business Bank for the compactor payment for the landfill, $140,000. Eaton Sales and Service LLC for the Jet A tank installation at the airport, $99,260.32. We've held back $8,000 because I have to finish up that last cabinet, and then they should be 100% done. Four Rivers Equipment for grader number 10 repair, $19,951.46. BlackRock Material and Supply for chip seal, $95,496.98. And Caldwell Family Concrete for the furnish and place the concrete around the fuel station at Road and Bridge, $12,268.17. Office of the DA, $12,608.49.
For a total of?
So the total is $514,187.91.
Month of?
And that would be for
Ending July.
ending July 30th, 25.
Okay, accounts payable, I move we accept the accounts payable amount and for the amount of $514,187.81. 91 cents. Slurred my, ending July 30.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any other discussion? Any questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote on the accounts payable as stated. Paul, all in favor, say aye.
Vogel, aye.
Lucas, aye.
Kanda, aye. Okay, we got years of employment recognition.
So I'll go through these. We just wanted to kind of start doing this and get kind of caught up, and then we want to try to do this quarterly and just say thank you to our employees, and kind of get them on every 5 years to do this. But Vernon Roth, just over 7.5 years. Kevin Day, 29.5 years. Patrick Fior, 5.5 years. JD, James Heinrich, our assessor, for almost 36.5 years. Brian Lockhart for just over 5 years. Paul Vogelsong for just over 5 years. Melvin Vanderhoff for 8.25 years. Kurt Wilson for 6 years. He's a road and bridge supervisor down in Wetmore. Rhonda Post, 35.25 years. Kelly Camper, thank you, 18 years in county.
18 years?
Yeah,
Try 33.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
33?
I started in 91.
she only started getting paid the last.
Must be that they, must be you volunteered for 15 of
All
them.
right, we'll correct that.
And this report was pulled from CIC.
Okay.
I have BOCC.
Okay.
They can't get off of CIC.
Yes, please.
We'll get that
It wasn't
corrected.
updated.
We'll
But there's a-
modify that, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Ann Lowachi, 17 years, works in our detentions department for Sheriff's Department. Jennifer Pappas Ray, 8 years, works in the assessor's office. Sherry Tovey, with Road and Bridge, 7 years. And then Christina Wilson, who just retired from the county, 9 years. So thank you. What?
Peggy?
We'll get her in the second half.
Can I get that list so I can
Yes, ma'am.
put it in? Thank you.
And we'll get yours corrected to almost double.
Yeah,
Almost double, 15.
But thank you to our employees, appreciate
technical
that.
error. That was good.
Okay, that's just a discussion and an announcement. Next, Mount Carmel, MOU.
MOU on that comment. I was curious about this for myself.
Okay, this is an MOU that we asked Dominic to put together. It's an MOU of understanding between Mark Carmel Veterans Service Center and Custer County. They've been supporting us, but there's been no formal agreement.
No, this
No,
Wait a
has
minute.
been in effect since
No, this-
2022.
this one's
This is
outdated.
since 2022, that's right, I'm sorry. So what are we discussing then?
That the MOU is past its, it was
Oh.
back in 22 and it is out of,
In theory, it expired on August 31st, 2023.
correct,
Right,
that's what I was
I
looking
thought this was the updated one, so that's what I'm
for.
saying.
No, I was looking for that date, sorry.
So what do we want to do? We're
Oh,
discussing
there it
it.
is, in the back page.
Do we need, I don't know what,
First time I saw this was when it was in the packet, so I don't know what we're doing with it.
I
I
know,
mean, I presume we're just maybe moving to up this for the following year.
So does it just add on and go because of the initial Bob stand up back there?
This isn't a Bob thing, this
It's
is
not
us
Bob,
three.
this is us, this is
I
us.
just thought maybe he had.
No,
This is us because there's an issue that we had with the Mount Carmel, and I thought that was what we were going to discuss.
Now, what this is their actual MOU that expired on, September 1st of 2022. And by then, are you
23.
going like a month, just?
we've just been
goodwill type
operating under this.
Operation?
I don't know, I mean, this doesn't say it continues month to month or anything after September of 2023, but I would assume that we've just been continuing to operate under the terms of this even though it expired.
Okay, let's just take this as us for information, because we are going to have a discussion
A review of,
that he wants to have on whether we're going to continue.
Just some information from the email from Dominic following your guys' workshop
Right.
on this, where he attached this MOU. It says, I had Sal forward me
Yeah,
the MOU that was signed with Mount Carmel attached. It expired 9/23. We are under no obligation to continue the relationship.
okay, so that's what I thought, because he wanted to sever that anyway, and so in effect we have. So I guess the question is for you, Dan. We don't have an MOU,
Right,
and we don't have a reason to keep them around.
right. If that's the case, yeah, I mean, I don't know that we need to give them any notice or anything.
No, we
because
don't.
The MOU is terminated
expired.
because it's expired. To the extent that we've been continuing to operate under it, it's just been,
Goodwill.
that's exactly.
It's just
the way we're-
not only that, it just happened. So, all right, so we can just let it expire.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not worried about it, and we know that Dominic is dealt with it.
So. is
Totally
Dom-
behind
Is
it.
I mean,
Dominic,
he should tell them that we're not gonna be doing this anymore.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, or is
Right.
that a board thing? Because it's entered in not with our VSO, but it's entered into with the board.
Correct. So we'd have to make that determination.
Well, I guess it was.
No, it was
the
between
old-
them.
Well,
No,
then,
as I say, it is.
we can leave
between
This
it
is
them
up to
and
Dominic, and he's decided to let it expire, and all
Right.
we're doing is recognizing it.
I mean, to be fair, it's between the county and Mount Carmel, the VSO at the time signed it. I probably would have advised otherwise,
Right.
But that's the case.
But that's the case, and I think it's fine if he tells them that that's not the direction he wants to do anymore.
Okay, so we can just
Could
drop
that be
it
a
with that
memorandum
discussion.
to Dominic? Should it be? We
From
have to do
Dominic.
anything to him in order to make any decision?
All I gotta do is tell him that we agreed to do it.
Okay.
There's no discussion.
That's what I was wondering if we
We're
had
just
that.
recognizing that
I just want to know if we had to have official letter
And
to it,
no.
to say we're okay with it, okay.
because it's his, and he had that discussion with us, and we all agreed, anyway.
And I know he has talked to them also, now.
Okay,
Okay.
This was an
That's
awareness.
it. It's just a nice little public
This was
discussion.
an awareness.
Awareness.
We were an awareness, yes.
All right, any other items of business we have that we need to remember?
I don't believe so.
No, not that I know of.
All right, we're at the
Oh.
end.
I have one thing.
Our
that I wanted to
33-year-old veteran.
What you got?
Sorry. I've been trying to order new scale tickets, and I got a quote, and for 1,000 of them, it's $1,100. So, they're trying to work with me on, getting that number down. Currently, it's a 4-copy ticket with a cardstock on the back. She said the cardstock is what costs so much, and so I don't see any reason why we can't get rid of the cardstock. We keep that copy, we would just.
So we have an extra
keep a
copy
paper
anyway,
copy.
so it's
Yeah,
happening.
we would just
Is it a
keep
state form we're purchasing, or is it
No,
a printed?
it's
form?
our
No,
form.
and so, the other thing is if we can go to a 3-copy one instead of a 4-copy. Right now, it's a cardstock and then 3 pages. I don't know why we couldn't go to a 3, because you have one for the driver, one for the seller, one for us.
Who gets the card?
They just been filing.
We keep the card,
Okay.
but there wouldn't be a card.
I was saying, we don't have to have it as a card
No,
for
I
any
don't think,
regulation.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So,
Can you store them easier with probably less room without the cardstock? It's not an issue.
Yeah,
but
that's the issue,
yeah, I
paying for
mean,
the
they're
stock
gonna be
card.
skinnier,
They're-
so, yeah.
How long we keeping them?
Fine, 2 years. But I think that'll bring it more down around 500.
Is that in your budget anyway, or no?
No, that's in your.
That's what you're
budget.
bringing it up for?
Yes.
So we'll have to put it on an item.
There'll be supplies.
We'll move it over by some recognition.
Yeah, we'll take it out of probably buildings and grounds operating supplies, which we budget for every year, but we have
You had to buy.
We have the treasurer that takes money out of there, everybody kind of uses that,
Open till.
and it's not, we don't have a spreadsheet of what comes out of that, so it's really hard to know, but I'm finding more and more things that come out of there.
And stuff anyway.
We need it for budget, I mean, we need to know what comes out of operating supplies for buildings and grounds, and should it come out of there, or do we need to give Kelly Camper more money for the scale part, or the assessor? It's just a conversation we need to have during our budget hearings, yeah.
So meanwhile, you'll have to have a resolution to give her the money per our process.
Well, just code it to buildings and grounds operating supplies, because that's,
Okay.
yeah, Caitlin,
Yeah.
There is a scale house line under other county functions.
okay.
That probably covers the recertification and any supplies. for the
Maybe,
scale
what's the
house.
money? in it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that probably is true.
That'd be a lot of it.
Okay.
John,
Are you open to other bids on the printing of these? I know people that print, I'm going to inherit an entire printing company. If you're open.
oh, sure, let's give it to.
Conflict of interest, yeah, okay.
I guess that would be up to them.
Not for me printing them, but I know an individual, Doug Gable, that ran the graphic arts program in Buffalo for South High School, and he might be willing to take on some carbon, this is carbonless prints that we're talking about.
Yeah, the problem that, I always like to stay local.
Okay.
The problem that the local business is having is getting a number, they have to be numbered. So if we run into a pickle there, I might reach out to.
Who's doing it
That's
for us?
okay.
Who is printing?
Crestone.
Crestone, so I know. Okay,
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I know he has the ability to number them as well. So
Okay.
if you need, please let me know, I have a resource for you.
Okay,
That number on that ticket becomes the invoice number for the carrier.
no,
Bill,
but it's in statute that it has to have a number on the card. They have to be numbered.
That's why the
keeps
bill
them
will be-
separate so they don't get mixed up. Okay,
What do we need?
That's all I needed, thank
Thank you, Ken.
Any other items? Discussion? All right, public comment, we're at that stage. Anybody out here online? No? Hearing none, let's adjourn this meeting at 10:40 a.m.